And we are live. Welcome
What?
everyone to the New Year's first ever Arca Cafe. So I'll leave the opening to Caddy back again. Go ahead.
No,
I
you're
know,
fine. I'm just
I know
gonna
you're
say what
excited.
is
Go on.
happening. Yeah, it's been a while, but what is happening, everybody? Welcome back to another Arca Cafe. Um, yeah, it's been a few.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we took the holidays off and spent it with our families, and we're
Right.
back.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So the first cafe of the new year. I mean,
Yes,
how
sir.
was the holidays? How was the New Year celebrations? All went well, and hope everything was good with the both of you as well as the others who are watching the stream as well.
Yeah. It's been busy, busy, busy. I'm actually,
Mhm.
you know what? I love the holidays, but I am glad kind of now that they're past and can just continue
Right.
forward. Because
At a certain point of time, it makes you think that okay, I need to get back to my normal life mode, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
So tell me, what are your New Year resolutions? Usually, people do have it at the beginning, and the the best one that I have heard is I'm going to go into a weight loss program this year. So either of you have any such resolutions made?
You, I gotta say, I don't personally have any New Year's resolutions, and the reason being is because I wake up every day with a resolution, and that goal is to
Mm-hmm.
be better that today than I was yesterday. And no matter
Awesome.
what that is, if I can pick one thing I can do that with, then it's a win. But let me tell you, it's been a rough start to that to 2023.
You have
you know
360 some odd days to practice,
Yes, I got some time.
something
Got
like
some
that.
time.
so USPS is here and we have Kira as well. I think Miss B, you met USPS recently, right? I did see some of the
I
pics
did.
at
Yeah,
a
I
Bitcoin
did.
meet or something. Okay,
We
awesome.
had yeah, down in the state south of me.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Bitcoin meetup, and
Mm-hmm.
USPS Brian in the chat. He goes to these, and so he told me about it. So I went down and I met up with him, and Tom is also another community member.
Mm-hmm.
He's sometimes in cafe and he's in chat as well. So I met up with Brian and Tom, and we listened to the a little bit of the Bitcoin stuff, a little bit of the kind of the financial strategy revolution that's going on, peaceful revolution
Mm-hmm.
apparently, and and had some beverages.
Okay,
Nice.
I saw those beverages. So
I did too.
those were some cool beverages, in fact.
Those
So
were good
that's fine.
beverages.
I mean, sorry, not cool, but chilled. All
They were
right.
chill.
There
They
you
were
go.
cold beverages. That's right. Yeah, it was a good time, and I'm glad that they mentioned it to me. It was good to actually meet somebody in the community, because we don't
Mm-hmm.
get a chance to do that hardly ever. I mean, it's it's global, so even if someone's in your region, you don't
Right.
necessarily have the chance. So yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, is it kind of a regular meet that happens every single week or a month or something like that, or was it just a one-off kind of a event?
No, it's I believe it's monthly, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know Greg Foss. Um,
No.
Brian follows him,
Okay.
and when he goes to these Bitcoin meetings, and Brian's turning me into a Bitcoin maxi. Apparently, we'll see. I have to buy Bitcoin in order to be that. So that hasn't happened yet. Yeah, but so Greg Foss is often there to speak, apparently, and he's very knowledgeable and great guy. I got to meet him and shake his hand, so it was cool. It was a good event. Yeah.
Okay.
What's happening, Stacks? I gotta
Awesome.
say that I know he's been looking forward to a cafe for a few weeks.
Yeah, true that. So we'll have Quester joining uh in a while. I think he's just finishing off with his dinner and stuff. So we'll definitely have him in a while. So all right, so New Year brings a lot of new stuff to Archangel. Before we get into the new stuff, let's just touch base upon the staking portion. I think the
Mhm.
cycle 4 has started. The staking period has ended yesterday from my date. Yeah, I think it's ended now. I haven't checked the
Yes.
website though. Okay, Caddy left. But let me just quickly
Hey,
check on
Jason's in
that.
the audience. Howdy, Jason. Chart guru.
Hey, hey.
I hope he's right. You having
Just
trouble?
checking on the duration. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the staking pool closed last night. I think it was. I don't
If
remember the
it's
time.
closed, yeah, well and good then. Okay.
Yep. So we are on to pool 4.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So now
We
we
have a.
have
Go ahead.
Archangel, Guardian, and Zero Gas, which would be given out as rewards for this particular pool. And
Mm-hmm.
we may never know. I mean, probably if in case any of the external projects do hop in and they want to contribute to the staking pool, I think it's possible to add them in the mid of the staking pool as well. Is there such an option?
I mean, I'm not the staking pool expert. That would be Ed. But
Okay.
I mean, I imagine that if an external project joined the ecosystem and they, had it perhaps written into their contract, it would probably have to be written into their contract um,
Mm-hmm.
that they would contribute X amount. Then I assume that could be done. But I don't know for sure. Those are just my
All
my
right.
own thoughts.
Oh, okay.
And he's
I'm
back.
I'm sorry, Caddy. I thought you also had the access to get onto the stage.
No, I hit a wrong button on the tablet. It kicked me completely out, refused to go back in. So we're going to give this a shot and see what happens here. There we go.
All right. Cool. Okay, BTC and ETH pumping right now. Yep, I mean,
Nice.
the market is kind of flaring up, but I don't know. Just my personal opinion, it might be a false pump. But see, there are signs that yes, okay, there are people who are getting in, and probably the recent, I think the CPI score that was released a few days back, that might be aiding uh, the pump in one manner, and there are many other events that are happening globally which might aid the crypto markets growth. But apart from that, I don't know. I might be wrong. That's what me being wrong, because I would say this pump is really good after seeing a lot of bear market. But to a certain extent, I feel if you're following the news of the FTX portion, the court has given a green signal for the FTX people to go ahead and sell their ledger assets as well as any of the other assets that they have
Oh,
withheld, right? So as per the bankruptcy portion, so just to liquefy it and probably clear out certain bankruptcy debts or stuff. So there might be a reason for this pump, that okay, it pumps to a certain extent so those people can actually go ahead and dump on us literally. So and they do have a very huge diversification of investment, majorly based out of Solana as well as many other altcoins in fact. So and I'm a little concerned of certain projects which were directly funded by Alameda, which were having a heavy liquidity pool on FTX itself, because that's I mean those are the tokens that they ideally held in huge quantities, right? So uh, that might be one of the reasons. But yeah. Oh, the chat guru says RSI index is really strange. It suggests a BTC pump, but economy says it should not pump. Exactly my concern as well. In fact, so I mean, on a TA front, it's a little hard to actually speak of from my perspective, because I always look at a long term TA. I do not want to, look into the short term of 1 or 2 days and then base my indices on that, because your previous 14 to 28 days RSI index is what will be considered, and that's kind of a wrong indicator if you look at it in one way. So but yeah, I mean, crypto is strange. You never know. Like I say, magic happens only in crypto, so you never know. It might be a good pump that happens and continues to happen in the coming days, due to probably a wider adoption, since 2 to 3 countries did have the legalization done for crypto in fact. And there are bold moves that are done from the European state as well in terms of legalizing it and seeing it as a tradable asset in fact. So yeah, let's see. what happens.
I would say I agree with him on this one.
Mm-hmm. This could be a sign that people are losing faith in mainstream financial institutions, and we may see a flock on to decentralized crypto. Yeah, that's the reason I said. I mean, this probably might be a good pump, but uh, how many of those people who might be pouring in the money are really well educated enough on the decentralized platform is my other concern.
Hmm.
Because when you have these financial institutions like JP Morgan or even BlackRock actually is voting towards the decentralized tokenization, in fact. So when you have these big financial firms also getting in, it might also be one way. If you look at it, they might be actually scooping up certain stuff at a low cheap price, which would give them a very good position, in fact, in their companies. I mean in their holdings, not companies. Alternatively, it might also be that there might be a few individuals who might be causing the pump. Probably by individuals, I mean certain high net individuals who might be causing this pump just because they want to sell their assets. So I mean, not all tokens. If you look at it in one way, not all altcoins are actually pumping in the market. Only those which were ideally heavily paired with BTC, or probably those which heavily rely upon the BTC price, are the ones which are moving up. And there are a lot many altcoins which are still in the build phase and probably a bit stagnant, I would say. The pump that you see in their price is only because of the ETH liquidity pairing that they have, and since ETH is rising in price, then you obviously have the compensation happening in terms of price point. But specifically, if you look at it, many of the altcoin projects are still in the build phase. Caddy did that again, I guess. He pressed the wrong button. All right. So, what does he have to say more? We have crypto holders that have been in crypto for years and are not educated, but buy crypto on radio in Australia. TV sponsorship hugely visible in the last 12 months in Australia. No, I totally agree with you. I'm not saying that everyone needs to be educated, but what my concern is when you have people who are not kind of educated on how the decentralized platforms work. Just to take an example, I just tell one of my friend, okay, hey, crypto is something that you can actually invest in to make a good amount of profit. So what he does or she does is just put some small amount of say $100 or $200, and that might not cause the amount of pump that you are actually seeing right now, because yes, most of them might go ahead and pitch in for BTC and ETH alone. But if you look at the entire market, there are still a few other altcoins which are being pumped, which I mean, take Solana for example. It was around $9 just a couple of days back, and now it is somewhere close to 30-ish dollars, I believe. The last I checked, it was somewhere around 22, 23-ish dollars. So this particular injection, because see, Solana did have certain amount of funds, but when you see so much of people getting into uh, that those kind of specific altcoins, and you just relate it to what's happening with the FTX holdings. If you check the entire picture of Alameda Holdings, right? I mean, there were somewhat like around 100 plus projects that they have invested in. So if you just cross map, I don't know, I might be wrong, but I'm seeing a lot of similarities in most of the tokens that are actually getting pumped right now. So I mean, that's where I'm coming from. So even if you have a lot of uneducated people also getting in, by uneducated I mean in the crypto field and the decentralized system, they might just be pouring in funds, but as fast as they pour funds, the moment they see that nothing much is going on, they will withdraw it as soon as they put in. I mean, as easily as they put in, right? So that's something that I'm a little concerned of. So that's not a holders market, is what I mean to say. All right.
Oh, this white cup?
Yeah, that might up.
That white cup.
Okay, just a matter of time, and more 401 keys are coming for retail to gain exposure in crypto. I mean, so damn true. I think Australia also has, a recent tie-up of one of the supermarket stores. I believe I read this somewhere. Um, One or two big supermarket chains, they have started accepting Bitcoin and a few other cryptocurrencies. And recently there was also this entire boom of almost like 100 plus businesses across the world have started accepting crypto. I don't know where
Mm.
all in different locations. It was just mentioned that around 100 plus businesses have now started, new businesses have now started accepting crypto and stuff. So it might be across a wide variety of chains and stuff. So yes, the adoption is coming in. I mean, that's something that I'm personally also looking in. uh, Oh, there we go. We have Coles and Woolies. Right. Yeah, true. So, I mean, Coles, in fact, is a pretty big chain. I mean, I know Coles from the MasterChef series that I usually watch. So, I know how big they are in Australia, at least. So, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good move for them. And alternatively, I also think this year, 2023, will be more of adoption since we already, passed that phase of having that regulations in place. Even though on a legal aspect many of the countries are still waiting for it, the framework is ready, right? uh, so yep, let's see what 2023 holds for us in terms of adoption for crypto. That's what I'm rooting for this year.
Well, did you
Hmm.
see the news about, because we were just mentioning Bitcoin in financial institutions, the BlackRock, when it added it to its global allocation fund, that was big news.
Right, yes, that's the reason I mentioned even BlackRock is rooting towards that decentralization part.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
we do have such big people getting in, because see, they know for a fact they cannot just stay out of it, since there's a lot of profit to be made. They do not want to miss the piece of the pie. Then, and those are the kind of people who definitely get on the early bandwagon. And
Yeah.
they did see these, overnight billionaires happening, and they were like, man, they're disrupting the entire financial industry to a certain extent, because
Yeah.
we
Well,
we
yeah,
actually
maybe.
had that in a closed container, right? So it's only the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. That's the concept that they ideally worked on, and it was all tight knit, right? So they only had that streamline so that the visibility of certain profit making mechanisms was only there for the big shots, so called.
Hmm.
But now crypto came and it ideally disrupted the entire part, because now it was ideally visible for everyone. I mean, everyone could access it from any part of the world. In fact, all you needed was just a mobile phone and an internet connection. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, actually, there was a guy that I met at the Bitcoin meeting. I saw his T-shirt, and which is like great advertising. And I asked him what his Bitcoin organization was, and he said
Hmm.
that they deal with uh, African nations. And so that's what we got to talking about, is they literally have found a way to where you don't those folks don't have to have a smartphone. They can just have a
Hmm.
like a regular flip phone and still be able to transact with Bitcoin. I met a woman there, and she's American, but she now lives in El Salvador and has opened a
Hmm.
business there. And she also deals with Bitcoin, bringing Bitcoin into El Salvador. So it's fascinating to meet those people. And I didn't talk to anybody about BlackRock, but um, I mean, they're a massively sized institution. So
Hmm.
I think somebody had done the calculations where if BlackRock were to buy all of Bitcoin, it would only take 1/3 of their assets. So
Right.
they can certainly afford it. Because
Yep.
I think BlackRock is worth 10 million, and I think all of Bitcoin was it was calculated when it was around 16,000 per. Um, but they could spend a third of what they have and buy all of the Bitcoin out there. So that's how
Hmm.
big they are. Maybe Larry Fink,
True.
I don't know, felt a little behind Fidelity. I don't know.
No, but unfortunately, even though BlackRock does have so much of funds, they cannot actually buy the entire amount of Bitcoin out there,
No, they
since it's
can't.
diversified a lot, and that's where the pain is for them, because now they cannot,
That's right.
even though they
That's right.
want to. Uh, okay, we have another comment. I think the struggle for DeFi projects is what is the best ROI market activity, as it is so new and no one has the golden ticket. How do smaller projects like ours get visible at the right time? All right,
Well, you have
Miss
to
B, I'll
figure out
leave
what
it to
the
you
right time
first.
is. The right time is going to be when there are market conditions that are where it's worth spending money. And then there's a number of ways that you can advertise. But right now, and I hate to say this, we have talked about this for months. We have said this over and over again. As long as the market is like this, throwing big money at advertising you might as well flush down the toilet. Seriously,
Okay.
because if you, I mean, if you're going to pay massive thousands and thousands of dollars to get a search bar banner on Dex Tools, or a something else, some other ad space on some of the other big sites, I mean, they're still charging 15, 20, $30,000. I don't know any project that has, personally, that has such a massive amount of rolling transactions that they can fork over that kind of money. So the market gets better. You prepare yourself now. You put plans in place, and then it's just going to have to be in stages in order to get your marketing rolling and getting your advertising out there.
Yeah, I have a different tangential thought towards this in terms of the marketing aspect, as well as when it comes to actual visibility is what he's speaking of. So uh,
Yeah.
when we want to really think of visibility of any project or a token which is still small, it doesn't always need the actual marketing aspects involved to a certain extent, I'm seeing. Because see, one, it is not something that is not visible to everyone, and second, it is something that happens always in the back end. What I mean by back end is, when you go for marketing, it's always a targeted area of marketing that you focus on.
Hmm.
Like you said, maybe in terms of Dex tools, having a banner and stuff. So even if you have that, it is just that, a few of the targeted markets who are probably, interested in going ahead and checking those banners out in the meantime when you're in Dex tools, that's when you get that visibility. But
Yep.
to a certain extent, when there was a meme coin mania that was running around last year, 2 years back, say 2022, uh, uh, at that point of time, you had a lot of traffic into the website, you had a lot of people pouring in, you had a lot of people spending a lot of time on Dex tools, because I mean, it was kind of an obsession for everyone to be on Dex tools.
Yeah.
You just have the chart open every single day and you keep seeing it, 3 4 charts on your screen, and you see, okay, this is pumping 100x, this is pumping 10x, and the adrenaline was pumping in you, not the actual chart, by the way, though. But I mean, that's the kind of a vibe that people had in terms of spending a lot of time on Dex tools, and that's where, having a banner on Dex tools made sense.
Hmm.
But now, one, the traffic has reduced, and two, there are the entire market has shifted from kind of a degen play kind of a stuff to a actual environment where we are seeing some real investment happening. So when it comes to real investment, always people who are having deep pockets, they do not look at the charts first. They first look at your fundamentals.
Hmm.
What exactly is the project about? What is it going to do? They look for two things. In fact, they look for scalability, they look for sustainability. So if you feel that, okay, you are presenting a project which is scalable as well as sustainable, that's when they start thinking of investing money inside you. And alternatively, visibility aspect will definitely come to projects which survive bear markets. If
Yeah.
you have looked at the previous bear cycles, whatever projects have actually survived the entire bear cycle have pumped a minimum of around 5x when the bull cycle starts.
Hmm.
And then, yes, you might have that particular drop, but it is not again that 5x drop back to your pavilion. It is just around 1.5 or 2x drop that might happen. There is
Yeah.
some kind of a growth year on year if you just look on it. And I wouldn't say year on year, but the recent bear cycles, if you just have a graphical check. So based on that, I mean, it's all about the survival is what I would say. When you wither the storm and you just hold on and run the project and keep it live, once the bear market ends, that is when that visibility naturally comes to you, because you see that, okay, this project particularly has survived the bear market, let's have a look at it. So that's how your visibility will automatically come into picture. When you have, just say about it in terms of CMC as well. If in case CMC is kind enough to clean their entire database of all those idiotic coins that they had listed a long time back, I would say that almost I would say around 60% to 70% of their entire token listed count would be vanished. So once that happens, your ranking in the system obviously will improvise, or probably that's when you see. And if the simplest one that I have actually heard from a few people, are they do not look at the normal CMC details, or so they look at the volume of trade. That's the kind of a
Hmm.
detail that they look into. Like, I mean, usually what we would do is we would just hop onto Guardian, or we would people, ideally I'm using CMC here. because that's something that a lot of people usually do by default, right? So shifting over to Guardian, it's just about, you see that, okay, this is the list of total tokens top 5, but you do not see that ranking on what basis is the ranking ideally given. So when people really want to invest, I mean invest, not just put in money, they
Right.
look at the volume of trade, they look at the 24-hour volume, they look at the last year volume, they look at the price change. These are the factors that they ideally look into. That's what gives you the fundamentals of whether the project is scalable, or that's what gives you a idea of whether how the project has survived. So when
Mhm.
you actually filter out the entire list based on the volume of trade that has happened for, say, a duration of an year or a duration of 24 hours or stuff like that, that is when people will get that visibility for these smaller projects. So I would say, I mean, visibility will definitely be coming up for Arca, Guardian, and other projects. But yeah, it would probably take some due time. And all we need to do right now or focus on doing is, one, build, and second, to
Yep.
sustain ourselves in terms of enduring this barren.
Yeah, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. I think there's a lot of projects out there that are trying to build, but they also launched in the middle of this bitter winter. So we'll see what shakes out when the market turns the corner.
Right. So we have
Cipher.
the GTO 442 back. Okay. So
Um,
absolutely yes. I'll tell you a funny fact. CG has become much more faster than CMC late now. I mean, lately now.
oh,
So,
really?
yep,
I
I do
wouldn't
see a
know.
lot
I
of,
don't blame them.
I mean, rapid changes happening on CG. As soon as you put in certain requests, they are responding a lot more faster, and probably a lot more human kind of responses are coming out, as against CMC, which is mostly an automated response.
You know what? You know who else
Yeah.
responds faster with human-like
I mean,
speed?
I'm just seeing CG. Okay, it's just
Guardian.
that exactly the point. I was coming to that. I was definitely coming to that. So, I mean,
You
I
set
was
that
just
up for me.
comparing only between CMC and CG. Guardian is on a different level. Come on, we
We are
cannot
on a
have
different
that
one.
there.
What can I say?
Yeah, we are on a different level. The Guardian platform is totally on a different level, because see, when it comes to actual functionality and options, CMC and CG doesn't have that much of options that Guardian has. Just a simple example, show me the token news. I mean, recently, CMC, I guess, by recent I mean uh, probably 4 months or 5 months back or 6 months back is when they have added that news section to be a little more robust.
Mhm.
Prior to that, it was nothing. In fact, I mean, it was just having certain small snippet kind of feeds. But there also, I don't think so you will be able to filter out based on your token name. I mean, that's an additional feature
Right.
that Guardian has, right? So if you're looking for any news specific to a respective token or a coin, you will not be able to get that, what you can say, the streamlined information on news, which Guardian would be providing you.
Right. Right. Speaking of projects and tokens on Guardian, we had a few added to stage 5 recently.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gee,
Right?
let's see. There was most recently there was Meme Coin Universe, Volt Inu listed, and right before that it was Angel Army. Sound familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've heard about it somewhere. I'm not really
Yeah.
able to gauge where I've actually heard it. So yes, Angel Army, my first NFT project, in fact. So that's something that I'm actually coming up. I've been a little quiet on that since, one, yes, personally, I when I initially started off, I had one kind of a vision in mind, but then when I was pitching in for certain partnerships, as well as speaking to a lot more people, as well as some of the people who are from the community or certain other NFT projects. I mean,
Mhm.
the design was somewhat a bit niche. I mean, just that having a simple template, kind of my first attempt, right? So after which I did spend some time and revamped the entire design. So that's taking a toll on my system. To be very frank, I'm only able to render
Oh,
around 10 to 15, since I mean, my system is an old PC. I mean, it's just an i5 and a 11 gen. That's a laptop. So it doesn't have a graphics card, so when I'm rendering it in Blender, and that's what I use for the rendering, so it's taking a lot of time. So I can ideally put out a max of around 8 to 10 NFTs if I'm doing the rendering for almost like 12 to 15 hours a day.
Hmm.
So that's taking a bit of a time. So I've got I think I've got a few of the angels ready, and now sorry, I'm planning to get the guardians also ready. So instead of that minting function, which was ideally that as a partnership with another particular platform for the
Hmm.
minting function, now I have found another way to I've got some of the contracts ready. So I've got my own contract done.
Good.
Based on that, I'll be probably relaunching a new contract entirely, and revamping the entire supply and stuff, instead of having that 2 to 3 collections in place and having that confusion, right? So it's always best that you just make it into one cohesive collection of
Yeah.
probably a good amount of supply, and you keep, and this contract is built in such a way that you can keep adding the NFTs as and when you want. So uh,
Good.
I haven't designed a max supply as such, so anytime I want to come out with a new collection as such, I can just put into that particular contract. So that again is another thing that I'm working on. So it would take some more time for me to just get that revamped design up on OpenSea. So this will be a direct sale on OpenSea as such. It will be much more easier for people to actually get in, and also probably, since a lot of people, or a few of them whom I spoke to, did say that they wanted to look at whatever is available first and then go ahead and buy it, instead of going with the random mint function. And
Yeah.
I totally get the point, because right now, as such, as on today, the utility aspect is still not finalized. So if you already had that utility aspect finalized, and I do not want to come out with those false promises, okay, I'm going to come out with a game,
Right.
uh, that's something. Okay, see, that's the long term vision, obviously, but there are many ways that I have now found out that you don't actually need to build a game. You can actually have partnerships with certain platforms, which wherein your NFT will act as a gateway to their particular platform, right?
Hmm.
So that's also something that I'm actually looking into. I'm speaking in to around 3 projects right now. One of them is from on a metaverse. I do not want to reveal anything as such until unless things are ideally finalized. So once those things are up and running, and that's where I want to go ahead and speak more about it. But yeah,
Sure.
I'm happy that I think I was the first project to get that NFT badge. So
Yes.
yep.
Yeah, congratulations. That's right. So on stage 5, we do have that special badge. Normally it's stages 1 through 5 eventually. But you had a very good point. You brought up to the team that when something is an NFT only project, they
Yeah,
have different, they have to meet different qualifiers. And so that was, that's what spawned us to create that different icon. So yeah, you're the first one listed with that. Very good. Very
awesome.
cool.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I wish I had them a chat guru, because that would actually keep me a little more healthier, I guess. Unfortunately, no. But yeah, I get what you're saying. But yeah, I mean, I've been running the PC, I mean, the laptop for almost straight 16 to 17 hours. And the problem, one thing that I found out with Blender is you cannot pipeline your entire rendering. You need to be manually rendering each one separately. So as soon as one completes is when you can actually put in another one. So I haven't really found a
Wow.
solution, or probably there is a solution, but I haven't yet found it. But yeah, I mean, you need to wait till one renders and then put that second one manually, in fact. So there is no automated way of okay, once this is over, because each time I want to render, I need to choose the different image to adjust it to the layout, and that needs to be done.
Yes.
So yeah, that's where it's actually taking a lot more time. It will be eventually out for sure. Probably
Yeah.
in a week or so, I would what I'm planning to do is come out with only the angels collection as such, and have them
Mhm.
up and ready for sale. And day by day, as and when I keep once that contract is deployed and once it's available in OpenSea for you, then it's just an easy concept of adding in more particular NFTs into the collection as such. So that's a simple concept. I'm just waiting on the right time, so that I have a certain bunch, at least a minimum of around 100, say,
Yeah.
available for me, so that I put that 100 out and then keep adding it say as and when they're ready, in bunches of 50, 100 again, whatever is the case. So
Yeah.
let's see.
Yeah. I think all the pieces will come together for you.
Yep. Thank you. So love picking
Oh,
your brain,
okay.
guys. Have to return to my day job. All
Bye,
right. Take care.
Jason.
Bye bye.
So,
Awesome.
we should also talk about some other NFTs that have happened recently.
Yeah. I mean, I
An
don't know.
NFT explosion, really.
I don't know. I mean, I'm hearing a lot of Arca babes. I'm hearing a lot of dragons. I'm hearing a lot of,
Dragon.
yeah. I don't know. I'm
Oh, do you want to know
What
more?
are they actually doing? What are they actually doing? In fact.
All right, let's talk about this. So yeah, so this is a huge initiative for Archangel. Um,
Right.
there's there's I mean, there's been so much going on in the past 2 weeks. And Joe will come in and he started dropping a bomb here and a bomb there and an image and the next thing you know, Storm's creating like some amazing NFT designs and we're all like, what is going on? So uh essentially this initiative it's an NFT program, but it's not
Yep.
just NFTs for artwork. They have a great utility. But let's talk about the collection, the overall collection. The umbrella has 6 sub collections under it, and you mentioned a couple of them. There you go. So there's
Perfect.
Babes,
It's
Arca
visible, right?
Pixel,
Okay. Yep.
what is that one? Brutes,
Yeah. Arca
and
broods.
there's
You have the dragons.
Arca Dragons, and that's
You have the
Arca Future.
ultimates.
Yeah, kind of
Okay.
technology based,
Mm-hmm.
and then Arca Pets, and then there's also separate from those sub collections. There's also Arca Ultimates, which are like
Mm-hmm.
higher level, really cool, like um, NFT cased um, images that are from the collections. So if you own a regular
Mm-hmm.
one, you might want to check periodically and see if yours has been turned into an ultimate. But
Mm-hmm.
getting back to the collections, yeah, there's those right there that you're showing. They're going like hotcakes, and Storm has been putting out more and more. There's also other artists who are contributing to this, and very reasonably priced. So anybody who hasn't checked them
Mm-hmm.
out should definitely do that. Every single one of those NFTs of the sub collections is 0.02 ETH. So right now it's about, I bought one this morning. It was about $30 and then it was about $5 in gas. So not bad.
Right.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a cool one. I'm getting,
I mean,
getting
okay, I'm
distracted.
going to stop sharing the screen because you're going shopping right now.
I'm window shopping now. But the utility, this is so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you own at least one, so you have to own a minimum of one of each sub collection. So babes,
Mm-hmm.
broods, pets, pixels, dragons, and futures. If you own one of every of those sub collections, you qualify for something called a game pass. And
Mm-hmm.
a game pass is your ticket, literally, to, oh gosh, how do I describe this without like taking an hour? I won't take an hour, I promise. The game pass will allow you
Okay.
to start entering into games and contests and things like that that are going to be going on. February 25th is the very
Mm-hmm.
first one. It's going to be bingo, and it's based on the NFT numbers of the sold NFTs. So
Mm-hmm.
in order to play bingo or any of the other games after, you have to have a game pass. In order to get a game pass, you have to hold at least one NFT out of each sub collection. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where we can start the conversation. And honestly, this will be something that we can talk about in other cafes as we get closer to um,
Right.
the bingo date and things like that. But that's where we start. So, and I think I dropped the link in our private chat. I didn't know if you wanted to share that, the
Uh,
OpenSea link.
okay. Open
Can
link. I
we?
thought
I
you dropped
can't do
another
that.
link right now. Just a moment.
Yeah, I just put it in the private chat.
There you go.
Oh, thank you. So that's the link that will take you to all of them, and then you can go into each sub collection and just click on. If you want to see what the latest is, you just click on what is it called? I'm having a brain
Recently
cramp.
listed,
Recently listed or recently created. That's right.
created, or recently listed. Yeah,
Yes. Yes, sir. So yeah, I go through every couple
awesome.
days, and I'm pretty amazed at what's being designed. Really
Hmm.
beautiful. Really beautiful stuff.
So on the ultimate front, you just mentioned, Miss B, that you'll have to time and again come back and check whether one of your NFTs has been turned into an Arca Ultimate. Are there any specific set conditions or guidelines that will make your NFT into the Arca Ultimates collection, or is it just that random kind of a NFT that would be picked, and okay, they feel that this is a good NFT to look at, or probably they might have special benefits for holders of these specific NFTs, so they are just going to convert that to Arca Ultimates. Is there something as such?
So from what I understood, when the Ultimates collection was started, I believe they looked to see um, which NFTs were getting the most views. I think that's the way
Mm-hmm.
they decided to start it.
Okay.
Storm and Joe, I believe. So that's why there are not a lot of them in the Ultimates collection. There's a few babes, there's a few dragons, things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
you can go back and check, and someone can buy the ultimate version of one that I have in the regular version.
Ah,
So you got to
okay.
be quick. You got to be quick. But it's just it's a higher level design. It's I don't know NFT terms, but essentially
That's
it's like a
okay.
rotating case and all that stuff. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's pretty neat. Yeah.
So it's kind of beefed up with animations and certain aspects which are there to the NFT, rather than just having it as a JPEG image, a standard standalone image as such. So
Yeah, I mean
it's
the
it's a
images
kind of beefed
themselves
up.
are
Okay,
awesome. Yeah, but
right.
the ultimates are in a like a
The
metallic.
layout and stuff. Yeah, got it. Got it.
Yep.
Correct. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, yep, grab those NFTs while they're available, and probably, get ready for the bingo game that's also coming up. Few more of the updates will definitely be shared in the cafe, as well as the Archangel official channels, that's Telegram and
Hmm.
Discord. If in case you are in either of them, or you have not joined either of them, please head over to the Telegram group, join, have some information, have some discussion, and let us know if you need any more help over there as well.
Yep, definitely. And those
Cool.
just to mention too, each of the sub collections is going to have a maximum. So these are
Mm-hmm.
not this isn't going to be each sub collection has, 5,000 or 10,000. It's limited to 500 NFTs
Mm-hmm.
per sub collection. And once they're gone, they're gone. Not to sound like a sales pitch, but truly, I mean, there's only 500.
Yeah,
So, that could open up the secondary purchase market too, which is something you can do if you
true.
really like one and someone else owns it. Make an offer on OpenSea. You never know; they might accept it. So,
Yep,
yeah,
absolutely. I mean, uh, sometimes you never know. The secondary market might be where you can see some real FOMO getting in as well. Once certain collections are actually sold out, you do have. I mean, since I've been exploring the NFT market, is where I'm
yeah,
coming out from. Uh, Many of the projects rely on the secondary markets a lot, because I've seen a lot of projects minting at a very low price, just because they know for a fact, or even a free mint, in fact, just because they know for a fact that the secondary market will sell out pretty quick.
yeah.
So, or that revenue generated might be even sometimes more than what you would have generated by just minting the NFTs.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a huge market out there, and I think even OpenSea needs a bit of a cleaning. It's cluttered with a lot of garbage. So, I don't know.
Art is the eye of the
But yeah,
beholder.
once an NFT is on chain, then you really cannot do anything about it much.
Yeah.
But yeah, if certain of the collections which are there, which are actually scams, or probably duplicates and stuff, if OpenSea will be able to find out or figure out a solution to go ahead and remove or get them out, I think around 30% of the entire listed NFTs would be off the charts, and that would probably give us more visibility, I would say, as well, in terms of people
Hmm.
looking into those legit ones. And one more thing that I want to actually go ahead and stress upon here is, always look at the correct NFT that you're purchasing, because it's so damn easy to duplicate. You just download the JPG image and you just upload it back to OpenSea under your account, then yeah, you have another NFT created, which is a duplicate, which is not part of the actual collection at all. So ensure that you are buying it from the right link and the right collection. So please do visit the
Yes.
same link that I have posted here in the chat section. Else, head over to the official channels. And
Mhm.
Miss B, I think we are also working on having this NFT page integrated to, I mean, the collection page, in fact, integrated to the website as well. So it's another official channel. Once it's up and running, you will also have that official channel also giving you the actual link for the NFT project as such. So, I mean, personally, just a thought. I think we should have this entire collection listed on I mean, just as a link or a banner on Guardian as well, pretty soon. So that would also provide another official channel of people getting into the right link and the right page for purchasing NFTs, because it's so damn easy to duplicate, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the main reasons why I was actually stressing upon having a contract for NFT collection as such, because that's the unique identifier. Once you have a contract ready and contract available for your NFTs, that would make it much more secure, because even if someone duplicates it, you will obviously not, be creating a new collection with the same name, or probably just a little bit of here and there changes, but you will not be able to duplicate the contract itself, since the base contract is what your actual collection is. So that's a identifier. I mean, that's a verification process, I would say, right? Just the
Hmm.
same way that you verify the contract address for any of the altcoins or tokens that are existing, same for the NFT tokens as well. So yeah, I mean, just but either ways, just ensure that you're getting the link from the official channels alone. Do not just type in the name. Sometimes the moment you type in the name, you'll have a plethora of such duplicate collections coming out to you. So ensure that you go in through
Yep.
the official channels, go to the right link, and then purchase the right one. You do not want to miss out on the bingo benefit and other benefits that might be that are planned, not might be, that are definitely planned for the Arca NFTs, right?
That's right.
So
Yeah,
get
I'm
the
glad
right
you.
one so that you get that. Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the website there. So they will be putting like a whole separate page. You're right, on the website, and that will probably be the creation of that will probably start soon. And it
Mm-hmm.
won't take much. So, but you're right. That's important to get things from official channels. So whether it's Telegram or, the link that you just put up, super important. Yep.
Yep. Yep. All righties, we are at that 47 minutes mark. So what else have we left? In fact, I mean, hmm,
Well, I'm
the
wondering if
staking is
Quester is
covered, the NFTs are covered. I don't think so. Quester would be joining us. He's having a hefty meal, I guess. It's still
multi-course
not done.
meal at the chef's table, apparently.
Probably you have that everything lined up, and and then
It's
once you
fine.
have
He's
it, you say,
wonderful.
"Yeah, oh man, I'm done. I'll not be able to sit in the stream."
Now he's going to take a nap.
Yeah, exactly the point. I mean, that's where I was coming from. So that's okay, Questa. Have your time off,
Yes.
and probably, yeah, just take that much needed time out. I know it's a little stressful, managing on the crypto side, your day job and stuff like that. So I mean, everyone needs a break. They
True.
definitely need a break. You need to go back, refresh, regenerate, and then come back with a bang. So let's see.
Yes.
All right, yeah, we
So
covered the
let's see.
staking,
Yeah.
we covered NFTs, and we covered the new section of Guardian for NFTs. What
Hmm.
else have we left? And something which we could actually share on the cafe, though. I mean, there are a lot of other things, but we cannot share everything right now.
No, I think I honestly think that the NFT program, that initiative is huge for Arca. It will eventually tie the ecosystem together, and
Mhm.
I'll leave it at that for now. But yes, I mean, even if, and I know people are not in socials these days because
Mhm.
they're just trying to get through their daily life. But
Yep.
even if someone just comes into Telegram once a week, just check the pins. You don't have to stay in chat, it's fine, but just check the pinned messages to stay updated, just so you know what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And also, if in case you have not joined the announcements channel, please do join the
Mhm.
announcements channel. You do not want to be on the chat section all the time. You do not want to hear the ting, ting, ting messages that keep coming out. So you can
No.
actually, just exit out of the main channel, just be there on the announcement section, because all of those important announcements which are much more required. But yeah,
Yeah.
uh, some of the announcements may not make it to the announcements channel because it will be more of a discussion point, and
Right.
probably certain pin messages which would be there on the main chat. What I would suggest you to do is just mute the main chat, be there on the announcement section, and if anything important really pops up, you can just check the announcements channel. It's there for both Archangel and Guardian as well separately, so you can have
Mhm.
that bifurcation as well. If you want specific Guardian announcements, you can just have the Guardian channel checked, or if you want specific Archangel announcements, you have the Archangel announcements channel also that you can check. So once you
You
have
got it.
this, yeah, unmuted, you can just refer to that, and you can just hop in once in a while to the regular channel, check on the pin messages, because certain updates or certain things might be just, random discussions, or probably certain topics might have come out just because of some people have asked some question around it, and those may not make it to the announcements channel all the time, although it might
Mhm.
be important to that particular aspect. It might be something that you're looking out for as well, right? Because there were a lot of discussions. I mean, take it for example, this NFT projects itself. This NFT collection, in fact, had a lot of discussion on the main community chat as well. So, and there
Yeah.
were certain points raised, there were certain discussions that were happening, and those are some good to go discussions, in fact. So, I mean, those are something that I would say, if you really want to follow the project on where it's heading to, because sometime later down the lane you come back and say, okay, what was Arca NFT collection doing? You should have been there on
Right.
the discussion so that you get to know better. That's all we would say. So, yeah, just check in once in a while, that's all. I understand people are a little busy getting back to their actual, it's kind of, you get out of that holiday mood, and now you're back to that particular place where you need to put in all your energy into your day job or whatever you are doing, into your daily life aspects. And if people are really 24/7 into crypto, then, well, you will obviously be there on the chat all the time, I believe. So exactly, I was referring to you.
Oh. Hey, you know what?
So,
Speaking of chat, there was also, I
mhm.
was just looking for the graphic for it, but I will not um be able to find it fast enough, unfortunately. But
Okay.
occasionally we have spontaneous random drawings the for people who have already purchased their Arca collection NFTs. So, darn it. Joe had posted a graphic, but it essentially it's random. You never
Mm,
know when it's going to happen, but I believe
is
he
it?
did one recently for one drawing for every sub collection, and he used the random wheel and put all of the sold NFT numbers on it, and a winner was
Mhm.
chosen for each sub collection, and the prize was $25 USDC or
Yeah,
ETH.
I do
I'm sorry.
remember. No.
Yeah, I think he
Wait,
did it
wait,
just
wait.
like a week ago.
I think I found it. I think I found it. Just a moment.
Okay, yeah. So that's just something that doesn't even have to do with OpenSea. It's just something we're
I
doing in
do
main
not know
chat.
whether this is the one, but is this what we were referring to?
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
Yep. So it's just random. Whenever it happens, it happens. And it's either the project or even a community member can decide to do it if they want to just
Mm-hmm.
do a little giveaway. So we're just keeping a little bit of fun in main chat.
Yep. And not to forget those, what's that? Drips, right? Or
Air airdrips, rain.
rains, yeah. The rain of
Yeah.
that, a lot of altcoins, I would say, not one or two, a lot of altcoins once in a while, even though there
Yeah.
are small amounts. I mean, over the course of time, I mean, drops of water form a pond or a lake or even an
Sure.
ocean, right? So you never know.
Yep. You never know. It just adds up. It all adds up. So
Exactly.
yeah. So I
Be there
think
on
we
the Guardian.
covered
this
it.
this is happening only on the Guardian, I mean, chat, I believe. It's not there on the
Yeah, it
Arca.
happened.
I mean, yeah, it's specific to Guardian.
Yeah.
So be there on
Yep.
both is what I would say. I mean, don't just stick to Archangel TG. There is also a Telegram group for Guardian specifically. So be there as well. A lot of other things are happening. I mean, Miss B is very active on the Guardian section more since she's
Yep.
totally handling it a lot. So, and yeah, if you're lucky enough, you can definitely grab some of those, or if not all of those raindrops that keep trickling down. So don't miss those, okay?
Yep. We got contests in Arca. We got airdrips in
Mhm.
Guardian. You walk around with your bucket. You can collect. Yeah.
Exactly.
Collect
Right.
little
So
pieces of crypto and USDC.
exactly. Awesome. So what else do we have left to cover for today? I'm just quickly running through the announcements if in case we have missed out anything.
Sure. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. We did the Guardian Stage 5 and talked about your project, and
Hmm.
mainly the Arc NFTs was something that we wanted to get more information out there about. So,
Right.
you got anything else?
Uh, nope, nothing specific. In fact, for now,
Okay.
uh, just running through it once again so that we we have covered everything.
Yeah.
Mm, okay. I mean, when was this released? Jan 4th. Okay, we do have this particular portion which I want to just quickly show. I mean, we are at the 56 minutes
Sure.
mark. I don't want to take too much of time,
Yeah, go
but
ahead.
probably we will have this discussion next week, or if anything again props up. But this is one of the updates for Guardian platform which I definitely want to share with the entire community, because this is where you see the entire framework of what Guardian would ideally be in the coming days or coming months or even the coming few years. In fact, I mean, the entire framework is now here for you, and how the integration happens. You can see what I'm really excited about is this SSO user interface. There's a single sign-in user
Hmm.
interface wherein you just have a single login ID created for any and every tool that is part of Guardian, right? So
Yeah.
be it your Herald, Brainstem, or your Spider that's going to come out, all this stuff, your portfolio management, everything included. It's just going to be a single sign-in interface. So that's something that I'm really excited to see.
Hmm.
And probably a lot more functionalities might be added to the TA section, wherein you do have those you can actually ideally do it now with a max of three functions that you can utilize on the chart for now. But we might have a lot more uh, I would say additional aspects added to that. So that's something that you need to definitely look out for, and which might definitely help people who are new or trying to get around that technical analysis factor or trying to learn it also. It's just a play around tool. So and after that we also have um where did that go? Brainstem, in fact. Yeah, that's something that's also running in the background. I believe a lot of content is also being prepared by a lot of people around there for Brainstem specifically. And Brainstem platform is also getting built. So once it's up and ready, I think it would definitely be helpful in terms of two things. In fact, one, it might also be providing a platform for a targeted audience only specific to certain tokens as such, which are kind of also having the background data available in Guardian.
Hmm.
As against, you just have to go to CMC or CG for certain information, and then you to hop into YouTube or any other platform for checking out few videos as such. But here the advantage with Brainstem is, one, you might have that legitimacy included. The main reason here being the projects themselves will be able to go ahead and post certain updates on a visual basis over at Brainstem, as against lot many projects might not usually do that, because YouTube again is a separate platform and you already have that flooded over there. But this is more targeted, and you probably have much more functionality if you have that visual, I mean, the visual aspect added to your actual data that's available in the Guardian platform itself. So
Hmm.
that's something that I'm also excited about. A lot many things happening. 2023 will be really good. Let's see.
Yes. Yep, I agree. And actually, I mean, a lot of that is the future stuff, but there's something that was added to the platform just last week,
Mm-hmm.
just within the past few days. So we know, we think we know as holders and investors
Mm-hmm.
how important it is to when you're doing your research to check LP lock, and
Right.
then when do you think about it after that? Once you buy in, you go about your day. You maybe check your wallet once in a while. But one of the things that a lot of people don't pay attention to is, when is that unlock date coming up? And not always for every project, but there are cases out there where once something unlocks,
Hmm.
you never see the money again. It happens.
Right.
So one of the things that we have on our stage 5, on the initial page of stage 5, is the LP lock date was added in. So whenever there's a project in there and they fill in their information on the form, their LP date, their lock date shows up on that initial page that lists all the
Hmm.
projects. What was recently added was, I guess, what can you call it? An alert, showing if the project has not gone in and managed their own dashboard page and put a renewed LP lock date. There is an alert that comes up that says, that it, I think it's in red even, that it's, a month
Hmm.
overdue, or it's 6 months overdue, or something like that. So it's just a little reminder for somebody to pay attention to that particular part of the tokenomics, because it is
Right.
important. It's your money. You need to pay attention to it, and you need to pay attention to where it goes. So
Absolutely. And one more thing that I want to really highlight. I mean, good thing that you brought about this in terms of doing your own research and
I
stuff.
just did.
So yeah, well, she covered it. Uh, okay, Guardian is just a platform where projects will be listed, but once they are listed, once they are approved for the listing as per the basic criteria that we have for listing, whatever
Mhm.
happens with the project is completely the onus of the project itself.
Yes,
Guardian is
sir.
in no way related to any of the things that happen to that particular project. So whether the project thrives, whether the project actually goes off, whether the project is going to be a rug pull, you cannot expect anything that Guardian has anything to do with it, or Guardian will be in control of it. Guardian is kind of providing you the platform where you can have that uh, interface where you can view certain updates from them. You can actually get to know about the project. You can once the entire thing is integrated, you can also have certain videos or visual medium, or you can have Herald, which is the official update channel for the projects themselves. That's just a base that is actually built around where you can get to know more about the project. And on one note, if you look at it, if you look at a form submission for CMC or CG as against what Guardian has a much more robust interface in terms of how you fill the form and how that approval process happens.
Mhm.
So there is a certain amount of scrutiny that is going into getting the projects onto Guardian. It's not like any and every project that's out there will be getting onto Guardian. So that first level scrutiny of listing a project is definitely done by Guardian, but after that, Guardian platform has nothing more to do with the project. Once it's listed, it's completely owned and maintained by the project owners themselves. So if in case you're
Right.
not, yeah, if touch wood, God forbid, anything happens or goes wrong with any of the projects that are listed on Guardian, know that Guardian is in no way responsible. You need to get back to their specific official channels to get more information about it, because Guardian will not be. I mean, I think I've seen this happen a few times on the Guardian chat as well, as to certain other projects which they want to get into Guardian, but people keep listing those projects and say, okay, we need to approach these guys. I think rather than Guardian approaching them, because Guardian does want that listing, yes, agreed. But we will definitely be doing our own research in terms of understanding whether we want to approach this particular project, yes or no. We do not want each and every project that's out there to just get on the Guardian platform, mainly for the fact that, we do not want to become another CMC with that cluttered garbage database. So,
No, I definitely see your point. At the
yeah,
same time,
that's the only
it's
part.
not our
It's not
it's
like
but it
not the reach part. I'm just speaking about
right.
those. What I would say is, you do not have a social channel available. Like they do not even have an official Twitter. You have those projects listed, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are the kind of projects which Guardian will definitely not look into. The main reason here being there are certain mandatory fields which need to be filled up when you're filling up a particular form for listing, in fact.
Mhm.
And it goes all the way, it does drill down to a certain extent. In case if anyone has seen the form, you see that it does drill down to such an extent where you even go ahead and provide what amount of liquidity you are I mean, no, not liquidity, I'm sorry, when your token is actually launching, even though it is in the pre-launch phase as well, you do have that particular options too available. So see, there are a lot many robust options available, but in the same way that scrutiny also is done at a robust level too. And for now it's not automated. I mean, it's still a manual effort that you, Miss P, and a few others might be doing. So there is always that manual set of eyes who are checking that details which are provided. There is also a manual, actual physical check that, I mean, not physical, I mean, actual manual check that happens,
Yeah.
wherein you visit their website or visit their social channels and see if the actual account they have created or thing is true. I mean, those kind of verifications will definitely be done. So you cannot simply go ahead and have each and every token or contract that is listed on the blockchain over at Guardian. So it's
Right.
a targeted market. So that's where we would say, that's the target audience that we definitely have with Guardian. That's the differentiating factor when it comes to CMC or CG or even certain other platforms that are there over as against Guardian, because that's the kind of scrutiny that Guardian ideally looks into.
Mhm.
That's the thing that I wanted to bring across. Cat
Yeah.
is here. I think he has something to speak of.
What's going
Hey.
on,
Yeah,
guys?
go on, go
Okay,
on.
so
Yep.
uh, I can't jump on camera for some reason. It's not working. So scratch that
No
idea. I'll
worries.
jump on audio for a moment. I heard we're getting carried away with Guardian at the second. I'm like, I gotta jump in.
I
So
was gonna jump in too. You go first.
Go on.
so no, Mr. Oswald, you got some good points there. But one thing about Guardian is it is for all projects out there. It's for NFT projects. It's for token projects, and it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what stage they're in. They could be in a conception stage and looking to launch. They could be building their utility. A lot of projects are doing that now. They're building utility before they actually launch an asset against it. And one of the
Correct.
powers of Guardian is any project can list. It's free. And the whole
Right.
point of that is we love projects listing, but ultimately it's for exposure to your own project. It gets your project in front of other people's communities. And the main goal is to get newcomers to the space, even newcomers or people that are veterans of the space. But coming to that
Mhm.
single platform, how you're saying earlier about venturing to CMC and YouTube and all this and that, that's the bull crap that we're all tired of doing.
Exactly.
And that's how you get down rabbit holes. So, with Guardian right now, we are still very early into the game, into getting out there. We're approaching 9 months. Oh, wait, we did pass 9 months. It's slow. But that is, the inspiration behind this is to get all that information into one place and in front of as many people as we can. And the other aspect is all the details on Guardian is 100% provided by the project. There is no API data pulls for the LP lock, for
Right.
the other things out there. Well, I can't say that. We do pull a little API data. We do show a DEX chart. It is not a trading view chart, but it is a source from the DEXs themselves to show current pricing. So if you are a newly launched asset, if you have a liquidity pair, you got a chart. So
Right.
that is one of the powers with Guardian is, with CMC, CG, oh, you're an untracked listing. You don't have enough volume. You don't have this.
Exactly.
You don't have that. Enough of that. Enough. And that is where, we brought that with Guardian onto the stage 5. So it doesn't matter if you are a launched digital asset, you're going to be able to track some of that data with that project, along with the fundamental things with that project. I'm sorry, Miss B, that floor is yours now. I had to.
Yep.
You're muted.
You're on mute. You're on mute. Mute.
You see it?
I'm.
Okay.
You
No.
said everything. You said everything that was on my mind. So you're all set.
Awesome.
But yeah, and that's the thing too. If anybody that's out there listening right now, if you're involved with other projects, make sure you let them know about Guardian. When that project does get listed, they are going to be sent. And I know, Mr. Roslin, you had a couple little hiccups with this, but since then we got that resolved, it was an email issue.
Yep.
But when you
Absolutely.
get approved on Guardian, you will receive a Stage 5 logo and a Herald logo in your welcome packet. And those are available for you to use on your website, on your socials, wherever you see fit. So that way you can, link right down there with CMC and CG. We're not trying
Correct.
to take over the space, but we can coexist out here, and add on to those details that do exist. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring all of that under that one hood. And the day when I can say that, we go out, we do a survey, we get 1,000 results, and everybody says, I only had to go to Guardian, then we have officially succeeded at that goal.
Absolutely agree with you, Caddy. I mean that's the end goal. In fact, that success is something that we are all waiting to see, and that would eventually definitely happen. Is what my personal thought is. In fact, and to a certain extent, good thing that you mentioned in terms of CMCCG having and we having that differentiated as all in one kind of a platform. It's just that the trend is now changing. That Yes, like you said, in terms of CMC getting the chat aspect, I've personally seen it in a few projects wherein they have been applying for say a month or even a duration of 2 to 3 months, and the chart is still not updated. The price is still not showing properly. Even after you give them all the details, it's definitely not pulling the data, or probably they have some issues. And what is the major problem here is Trust Wallet relies on CMC data,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever is available on CMC is what will reflect as a price point in Trust Wallet. And many of them right now, with you just open your Trust Wallet and check your balance, right? You do not want to go into CMC and check what the price is and then do a manual calculation by yourself. So what would ideally happen is people would not see the price, they panic, and then they come back and say to the main chat as to, okay, my price is not reflecting in Trust Wallet, my price is not reflecting in my other wallet that I use. So that's something that really needs a quick fix. But the moment you mentioned that, there are certain APIs which directly pull the chart and the price details from as soon as you have a liquidity pair available, that's what is definitely needed. And that's really great, because as and when you have the liquidity pool up and running live, the chart needs to be pulled out. That
Yes.
data needs to get populated. That's how ideally it should work. I don't know what CMC is actually doing in the backend in terms of uh, getting these deals. I understand on the total supply, I understand on the circulating supply, but I don't know how they're actually managing the chart portion. In fact, where are they even pulling it from? God knows. Dex
You
Tools is
know,
able to give you that chart as soon as the liquidity pair is live, and why not CMC?
yes, and and that's the one thing we're trying to get, the data as fast as we can onto the platform. The
Right.
most accurate data. And oh my goodness, there was something I was going to say, but I completely forgot at this point. Shoot.
Happens.
It
That's
does.
fine. That's fine.
um, Oh, and how you're talking about with Trust Wallet and tracking your assets and things directly in the wallet, and how CMC is having that lag. Earlier, you pulled up I want to say it was the workflow chart of some of the stuff that's coming
Yeah.
out for Guardian. If you notice on that, one of those components
Let
is
me just
back.
pull that up for you. Just a moment. I do have it here in front of me. Yeah.
Yeah, so we got a lot of things that is actually in the works right now. If you see, the continued CDN development with Brainstem, the user account and content creator accounts, that is very much a work in progress. I'm going to say we're probably about 85% complete on that user account SSO side. There's still a lot of refinement to be done, but the fundamentals, the functionalities there. So hats off with that. We're moving forward. But if you notice, when the SSO comes out and you see the user accounts, you'll notice that you'll see the technical analysis of Bagtracks, Whale Watcher, Genalock, and Brainstem. Bagtracks is going to be a big component where you'll be able to track your portfolio, and it'll be attached to your SSO. So we got some good things that's coming up with that, and I look forward to being able to pull some accurate pricing into there. So, that's one of the things that I still use. And again, this is what I'm saying. I want to get us where we can put everything under one roof. Like, I still use Xerion for my tracking.
Right.
And that and Dex tools as well. But, Xerion I like because I can punch in a wallet address. I don't have to connect a wallet physically. I can put in any wallet address I want and it'll pull those assets. And then, with CMC's portfolio tracker and things like that, you can manually input that stuff in. So you can build your own list and do what you want to do with it.
Right.
We're looking at many different models of that, but this is all stuff that is going to be coming out. I got a feeling in pretty rapid fire once we get going here. We got to finish A and B before moving on to C, but things are moving.
Agree. I mean, it's just about think of it like a car being built. You have the engine ready right now. You just need those. The entire other functionality is added up. So Guardian
Yes.
engine is now kind of ready, and you also have the four wheels as well, the axle and other stuff ready. The framework is ready. I mean, so what
Yeah.
is now needed is that steering wheel, the seats, the leather, the interiors, and stuff like that. So that's what is getting added.
Yeah,
Once
and
you
that's the
have
great
that,
thing with Miss B
yeah,
there and myself. We get to work down on that assembly line. We get to watch each individual component be built. And then the better part is going to the upper office and looking out that glass window and just seeing the full scope of everything.
right.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing with everything that's gone on in the 9 months.
Absolutely. I mean, 9 months you bring this much of a kind of functionality. It's a pretty big feat in itself. I've known projects of I've known projects who are working for 2 to 3 years, and they're just trying to build one utility of staking. In fact, uh,
Well, one of the things that we were presented with Guardian directly is, we launched April 9th of last year.
yeah,
And we all know what the market conditions have been like since then. So, we haven't had the
exactly.
most favorable market conditions for a project overall, especially a fresh project. But during those times, we didn't let that get to us. We took that and we used it to our advantage. And that's why you're
Correct.
seeing the development processes you've seen today, because in the bear market, we have not stopped. It didn't
Exactly.
matter if it was a
Yeah.
red day or green day. There's always something being done with Guardian, whether it's coding, let's be out there marketing. There's something always happening on a daily basis. And,
True.
that's one thing that we're not going to stop with out there. We have made it this far during these rough times. We can't wait for the bull market to return. Like,
No,
do some
absolutely.
exciting
I
things.
mean, that's the reason when I was speaking earlier on the visibility aspect, it's all about the survival of the bear market. In fact, once you have the
Mhm.
bear market up and not up and running, it's over, and the bull market up and running. That's when the eyes will only point out to the projects which had volume in that market. The
Yep.
moment you see that, see, it may not be even those haphazardous numbers of millions of dollars. It can even be a smaller volume. But if you see that volume aspect, that means that the project is live. And the moment you see that the project is live, you definitely would be intrigued to get into know a little more details. That's when you visit the website. That's when you get that initial set of research done, and after which then you just probably get into a entry point. And I'm speaking of people who do not have the degen place in mind, and even in fact for people who want to really play out the region kind of a concept. I mean, the price is kind of enticing right now to get on, because at ATH we were what, like um a 10x from, no, not 10x, I think more than that, 30x from what we are right now, probably.
For what they're Mr.
I mean, the ATH was around 30x for Aka than what the current price is.
Oh gosh, honestly, I do not know. I have
Okay,
not tracked
I'm
price.
I'm just making a rough estimate.
You, I got to say one thing with Arca. Here's been my problem with Arca overall is I
Mhm.
buy and I forget and I throw it in the staking pool. Why? Because of the rewards. I seriously, price means nothing to me with Arca. If it's cheap and I can get more,
I'm on the same boat.
hallelujah.
I'm in the same boat. It's just about put it to stake, and I've just forgotten about it. It's just lying in the staking pool now. It's
Exactly.
done its job.
Oh yeah, I know. I missed. I did hit the harvest, so I'm thankful for that. But I missed the
Mhm.
open staking period. I realized last night. I think it was last night that it closed again, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, there's 9 months. Hell, when did we launch? The first staking pool, I think it was February, March of 21.
Right.
We're approaching that year mark.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right. So it's that 1 hour 20 minutes mark. I guess if we do not have any other topics, we can end the conversation here for tonight's cafe. Do we have any other topics, guys?
Not I.
No, I
No,
think I'm
Penny.
good.
All right, perfecto. Then we'll meet up next week. Same time, same place. See you all. Bye bye.
Have a good week.
Adios.